Chief Medical Officer says there's no need for concern among the Australian public over the deadly coronavirus. There are 5 confirmed cases nationally, with more people undergoing testing. Stella Todorovic is in Sydney. Stella, what's the latest on the conditions of these 5 people?
Well, Sam, they're all in a stable condition in hospital, and a further 6 people are currently being tested for coronavirus here in New South Wales. The latest confirmed case, a 21-year-old woman, a student here at the University of New South Wales, tested positive to the virus just yesterday after returning to Sydney on that direct flight from Wuhan last Thursday. The advice from medical professionals has remained the same. It's to basically monitor your symptoms if you have just returned from China in the last few weeks. Also, that there is no need yet for public concern, but that all of the flights from China will continue to be monitored.
Every flight from China is being met by and entered by border security officers, and making sure that everyone on the flight gets information in English and Mandarin about the need to report the travel history if they develop symptoms after they arrive, and obviously if they have any symptoms they should declare themselves to a border security officer at the airport. And we've had a 3-fold increase in people reporting ill symptoms to border security officers, mostly just trivial symptoms, but the message is getting out there.
Sam, the Chinese city of Wuhan is still in lockdown as this outbreak still continues to run rampant across the world, with hundreds of Australians also in Wuhan. We understand that number to be around 400, and the government is working to get them back as soon as possible.
Foreign Minister's working to ensure that we have a pathway home for each and every one of those Australians. The timing is something that will be worked on with the Chinese authorities, and this is part of a global challenge, but Australia's been working with countries such as the United States, the United Kingdom and many others directly with the Chinese authorities, and we are confident that given time we will get all of our Australians back.
Schools across the country, Sam, are taking extreme measures to ensure that this virus doesn't spread any further. All students that have just returned from China in some schools are being advised to bring a medical certificate to prove that they don't have the virus, while others are being told if they've recently returned from the country that they should remain home until that 14-day incubation period is over. So far, Sam, at least 81 people have died in China and more than 2,000 have been infected globally.
Stella and Sydney, appreciate the update. Let's go live now to Anna Rawlings in Brisbane for more on the precautions being taken at schools in Queensland. Anna, hello to you. Students are being isolated at a boarding college.
That's right, Sam. 10 Chinese boarding students here at Stewart Home Girls College in Brisbane are being quarantined on their own floor. They've recently returned from those high-risk areas in China, and the school is really taking precautions to make sure that this disease doesn't spread. They say that this group of 10 girls will be checked by a nurse every day. They'll only be allowed to go to classes if they're showing no signs of the disease, and they're going to be taking those precautions for at least the next 14 days, as that's when it generally is the incubation period for this. Now, it's not just the private college here. A number of other elite Brisbane schools are taking similar precautions, mostly saying that any students who have been overseas to those areas need to have a medical certificate, or they're banned from coming to school for at least 14 days. Queensland Health authorities met with the Education Minister yesterday before students returned to school today, just to make sure that they had systems in place. Most schools were given the good to go to return. It's not just Queensland, though, of course. There's 2 schools in Adelaide who have quite a high population of Chinese students. There's similar measures in place there, as well as in New South Wales, and we are expecting to hear shortly from Victorian authorities to give us some more details about the procedures in place at Melbourne schools.
Anna Rawlings in Brisbane, appreciate the update. We'll check in with you again soon.